Hello everyone, my name is UltimoFive and today we're going to be revisiting the Proboscis Cernos, the Fervid era. The Proboscis Cernos is the enhanced Mutilus Cernos that launches appendages that pull enemies inwards to a point of impact and then explodes. In order to obtain the Proboscis Cernos, one must obtain the blueprint by purchasing it from the market and requires Niatin extract, nanospores, polymer bundles, and a pre-made Mutilus Cernos to make it at the foundry. Requires a mastery rank of 15, comes with 2 dash polarity slots plus a dash auxilis slot, and because of this the builds on this weapon will require 3 forma. And the Proboscis Cernos excels in medium to slightly long range combat and deals with high leveled enemies of all factions in medium to large crowds. Advantages for the weapon would be that it has a very high status chance, arrows explode in a 7-meter radius upon impact and after 1.7 seconds releases tendrils that pull all enemies within 9 meters towards the center, and the weapon is silent. Disadvantages, however, for the weapon would be that it has a very low critical chance, a below average critical multiplier, a slow charge speed, a low ammo reserve, cannot be fired at partial charge, explosions inflict self stagger, and explosions have linear damage fall off. The elements for the Proboscis Cernos against a corpus will be radiation toxin or viral electricity. Radiation causes enemies to attack each other while dealing 100% additional damage to the allied for 12 seconds, which stacks up to 10 times up to 550%. Meanwhile, toxin deals 50% base damage per second over 6 seconds and stacks indefinitely with each instance having its own timer. The build's flex slots are vigilante armaments and serration and works great. Radiation toxin and viral electricity are on par for dealing with the corpus enemies. However, in the index I would say radiation toxin is better, and in the steel path I would say viral electricity is better. The elements for the Proboscis Cernos against a corrupting Grineer will be corrosive and heat. Corrosive reduces armor by 26% for 8 seconds and stacks up to 10 times for a total of 80%. Meanwhile, heat deals 50% base damage per second over 6 seconds while stripping up to 50% armor and causes targets to panic. The build's flex slots are vigilante armaments or serration and is great. Corrosive heat works really well with innate viral on the weapon to just strip all corrupting Grineer armor. And once the weapon gets all of its stacks, it has no issue with killing off enemies in seconds and provides one with immense CC capabilities. The elements for the Proboscis Cernos against the Infested will be gas. Gas deals 50% base damage per second for 6 seconds in a 3-meter radius and stacks up to 10 times for a total of 6 meters. The build's flex slots are vigilante armaments or serration and is really great. To go from 0 stacks to max stacks is only about 2 to 3 shots, which is incredible, and not only that, but once you get max stacks, the weapon easily can one-shot most infested enemies like they are nothing but a tiny piece of paper in the way. There isn't much else to say other than watch everything melt. Split chamber and rifle aptitude in place of the galvanized counterparts if one doesn't have access to the mod through arbitration or doesn't have it. Arrow mutation in place of having no auxilis mod. This will cost 1 more forma in order to have, but can help with the weapon's low ammo reserves. Bane mods in place of their primed counterparts if one doesn't have them. Primed firestorm in place of the build's flex slot to increase the blast radius of the weapon if one would like to. And heavy caliber in place of the build's Bane faction mod if one doesn't like using faction mods. There are several ways to enhance damage for this weapon, for instance Rhino's Roar, Nova's Molecular Prime which makes all sources of damage increase by 100% against primed enemies, Mirage's Eclipse mixed with her Hall of Mirrors adds a massive damage bonus during the day or in light, Saren's Toxic Lash mixed with her Spores abilities, Equinox's Rest and Rage in day form makes targets more vulnerable to damage, and Chroma's Vex Armor when health gets damage increases weapon damage. Arcane Primary Charger. On melee kill, 30% chance for 300% damage of primary weapons for 12 seconds. Arcane Arachne. On wall latch, 150% damage for 30 seconds. Primary Merciless. On primary kill, 30% primary damage for 4 seconds, which stacks up to 12 times and includes a 30% reload speed buff and 100% additional max ammo. And Primary Dexterity. On melee kill, 60% primary damage for 20 seconds, which stacks up to 6 times and includes a 7.5 second increase to combo duration and a 60% holstering speed buff. I wouldn't suggest using a Riven with a Proboscis Cernos, however if one still wants to, then the flex slot to replace will be what was previously discussed before. This may require 1 or 2 more forma, and in order to maximize damage output with the Proboscis Cernos, one will need to get lucky and get some nice stats. My ideal stats would be status chance, multi-shot, fire rate, and negative zoom or weapon recoil. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more guides on Warframe, please click the like and sub buttons to let me know. And as per usual, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.